Hey, this is Mike from Run Testers, and this is our multi-tester first run review of the Nike ZoomX Invincible Run Flyknit 2. Yes, I did look inside the shoe to make sure I got the name correct. Thank you to Pro Direct Running for providing the samples for us to test. We're going to get into what's new about this shoe, how it kind of compares to the original, get into our run test, and then give you our initial thoughts on this shoe to tell you whether you need to upgrade, whether it's another standout shoe from Nike, and whether you need to buy it. So let's get into it. So here's pretty much all we know about the ZoomX Invincible Run Flyknit 2. It costs £164.95 in the UK, and we expect it to be priced at $180 in the US. It weighs in the same as the first Invincible, with our men's UK size 8 weighing in at 279 grams. Nike indicates there's a higher stack of its full-length ZoomX foam midsole here, but we're still waiting confirmation from Nike on just how high that actually is. To put things into perspective, the original featured a 9mm drop coming in at 36.6mm at the heel and 27.6mm at the forefoot. It does feel like a similar story with the two. That ZoomX foam is designed to provide a light, bouncy and responsive ride, making it ideal for long, easy runs, with a more exaggerated forefoot design to provide a more stable ride. The rubber outsole has the same waffle tread design as the original, which is designed to provide strong grip on roads. In the upper department, it's Flyknit again, this time with a more ventilated look and the introduction of new laces too. Inside there's a heel clip to keep things locked in and offers some extra cushioning too.
For me, the fit of the Invincible 2 is very much the same as the first one. As far as I can tell, got a good amount of room in my normal size in the toe box, and the hold around the midfoot and heel seems all good as well. So yeah, I was perfectly happy, true to size.
So fit for me was an interesting one. I had a UK size 8, but I actually felt it was a little bit long for me, particularly up in the toe box. I felt like I had a lot of space there. I would potentially maybe go half a size down in this shoe. Like I say, I don't know what it was like in the first shoe, but for me it definitely felt a little bit long. Elsewhere I was generally fine. Kind of like quite nice and comfortable in the midfoot, you know, a decent amount of padding at the heel, and these kind of laces and kind of tongue combo, and they're nice and padded. So, you know, the kind of things you look for from a kind of long, easy run shoe. You want that comfort. That's what it feels like. The only thing I would add is, yeah, it felt a little bit long for me, and maybe you want to go half a size down in this shoe just because, yeah, it felt a little bit long for me.
About to head out and do first run in the Nike Invincible 2. Got a lovely day for it here in the UK. It's actually bakingly hot. I'm going to go and do a nice easy 10k-ish, just plodding around some local roads, maybe a bit of light trail as well. I really liked the first Invincible, so I'm excited to use this one. Looking forward to having a nice big squishy shoe on my foot for this easy run. I'll check in along the way. So I've run about 5.5k, nice slow pace, but, you know, very hot. This Invincible feels great. I'd say this is one of those updates to a shoe where, you know, if I don't read anything about it, I assume it's pretty much the same shoe. There's maybe some upper updates here, but I can't really notice them on the run so far. It feels great, you know, very soft, bit of bounce, very comfortable and enjoyable cruising around in them, but I don't think there's anything drastic here compared to the Invincible 1 so far. Just back from first run in the Nike Invincible 2. Yeah, it's very enjoyable. It's really hot today, so yeah, kept it very, very slow today. So I'm trying to keep my heart rate down, which was a challenge actually on some little hills in the forest in the heat, but generally really enjoyed the shoe. Like I said, on this kind of pace today, it was very soft and forgiving, very squishy, and I just, you know, pushed the pace a couple of times for short stints just to feel how the foam responds. It's kind of big stack of foam that when you do start putting more force in there with some faster running, you do get a bit more back in terms of the bounce, but generally they're just comfy and cruisy and fine on some light trails as well. Like, you know, not the most stable shoes in the world, but I think if you're a neutral runner, they're fine on those kind of slightly uneven surfaces, but they're best on the road for sure. As I said on the run, I didn't notice a huge difference from the Invincible 1, except that this colourway is absolutely gorgeous, whereas the black I had in the Invincible 1 was a bit kind of boring.
You know, I've done kind of an 8-mile run commute in it, and I've done an easy 4 in it this morning, so I've not obviously given it a lot of time, but I'd say they feel very, very similar. Not a lot has changed here at all. Nike said they've added more ZoomX foam, so it's kind of higher, and it is a little bit, I mean, you can see that a tiny bit, but it's not underfoot, that it doesn't feel, it's a super plush shoe already, so, you know, I feel like it doesn't feel any much more plush really. The upper's definitely changed a little bit. I think it's kind of, you can kind of see there's more like panels, and it has a slightly thicker feel, but again, you know, it's not all that different from the running I've done in it so far. Oh, the laces have definitely changed actually, looking at them side by side. These are a lot kind of thinner and more kind of, you see that, more kind of like old school trainer laces, where these are like that are flatter, kind of wider ones. So the laces are a little bit different, but apart from that, you know, laces a little bit more foam according to Nike, but apart from that, very similar shoes.
So I've just done my first run, the Invincible Run 2. As you may or may not be able to tell, it's full on climate change out there. I am very hot. It's very sweaty out there. This is early morning. I'm on the kind of, you know, this is my first week of Chicago Marathon training. My legs are very tired. This felt like the perfect kind of conditions or run to test this shoe in. Now I can't vouch for how it compares to the original, but I have run a lot of kind of easy style kind of long shoes with lots of cushioning to kind of keep you protected and comfortable. In terms of how I felt running in this shoe, I'm going to see why people like this shoe a lot, particularly for kind of those pressure off kind of runs where you just need to log some mileage and you want to enjoy every step of it. I think the thing you notice, I think, is the ZoomX midsole foam. You know, you feel it all the way through the shoe. I definitely did in kind of my couple of runs in it. And I think, you know, there's a capacity. I tried to go a little bit quicker in places, and I think there's a capacity clearly to go a little bit quicker in this shoe, but I think, you know, ultimately it's there to offer that kind of bounce, you know, kind of soft cushioning. I just feel really enjoyable to run in mainly, and I say, you know, I'm pretty knackered from this week, and it felt like the ideal shoe to kind of do my runs in today. The outsole, you know, hasn't changed massively from the original, so that felt good. I was predominantly on roads, you know, no issues in terms of the kind of traction and grip from that point of view. So all very positive on the shoe so far. Where I really want to see how it proves, where my legs aren't tired, I've got to go a bit longer, maybe an hour, 2 hours, see how it kind of holds up from that point of view. Whether that midsole foam kind of really kind of still holds strong, those are the things I really want to see, and how this shoe kind of performs. But I've enjoyed it so far. Some very short run, couple of runs, but yeah, I've enjoyed it, and I can see why people like this shoe a lot.
Early version of the Invincible 2 is that it's a good shoe, much in the same way the first one was a good shoe. Kind of went up and down with the original Invincible. Like, I always liked it, but there were times when I really loved it and I really enjoyed using it a lot. And then I'd go into times where I thought, well, it's just a bit much for an easy shoe. You don't need this much kind of cushioning and to pay this much for a shoe. And there were certainly times deep during marathon training when I found that, you know, maybe I just want something a bit more normal and stable on my foot actually for kind of recovery runs. But it's certainly a fairly unique shoe, I think, in the high stack world. It is so soft and bouncy and impressive, and it's got a bit of versatility there. And yeah, like I said, there are certainly times when it's been right up there as one of my favourite easy day shoes going. So I think the new version will be more of the same. Maybe I like it a bit more because I like the colour a bit more. But yeah, it's a really strong shoe. It does very well, but it remains very, very expensive, and you can certainly get more stable, great easy day shoes for less. Even other pricey options like the Brooks Glycerin 20 and all that, which is another shoe I really like. I think it's similar actually to the Glycerin 20 in that both shoes, I always finish runs like almost wanting to do more in them and carry on running in them, because they are a lot of fun. I really like how they feel underfoot. So it's probably up there with that as one of my favourite easy day shoes around. But in general, kind of personal use, I still kind of perfectly happy sticking with the kind of £100 area of shoes for my easy shoes. I've got the Puma Velocity Nitro 2 and things like that have a bit more versatility and are much cheaper. But this is undoubtedly a lot of fun, and I look forward to doing a lot of testing in it for sure.
Right now, first impressions, I would say grab these in the sale if you can, because not a lot has changed. But I will obviously be doing a lot more running in it and giving it a better look coming soon. But still great. For anyone who's a fan of the first shoe, that is a good thing, because I think if they changed too much, I'd have been really sad. So
initial verdict on the run 2 is that I'm in a couple of short runs, and I've enjoyed those couple of short runs even on tired legs, and I think it's all really down to that ZoomX foam midsole, which I think makes the ride a kind of really enjoyable one. It feels a really protective one, and it also feels like a good level of cushioning. You know, as I said, I haven't run in the first one. I have run in shoes like Saucony Triumph 19, which I generally use for my kind of easy runs. I think the Brooks Glycerin 20, which we recently tested, I think the midsole foam in that feels, you know, like you're getting something towards that kind of ZoomX midsole foam, and maybe the Puma as well. But I think how this compares for me, I think this feels a lot softer. It feels a little bit more comfortable, I think. And it's probably the one I think probably stands out for those kind of new midsole technologies, and how it feels to run. And I feel, you know, it has all the ingredients there to be a good strong shoe for long easy runs. Potentially I think this might end up being my easy run shoe going forward. But yeah, early days in terms of testing. We enjoyed it in the first couple of runs. I am definitely looking forward to running more in this shoe as well. Okay, so there you have it. Those are our initial thoughts on Invincible Run Flyknit 2. Now, if you've got any questions about our testing, anything in the shoe that you want to know about out on the run, let us know in the comments. As always, like and subscribe, hit that little bell to find out about our latest videos. And yeah, we'll see you for the next Run Testers video.